You know what they say, when you hear rich people say, money didn't make me happy, and we don't believe them. We think, you know what, give me that amount of money, I think I'd be happy. I watched a movie called Everest, um, based on true events, and these obsessive climbers, and even, there was always a bigger mountain to climb, and it drove them to death, literally died on the mountain trying to prove a point to themselves, fighting this inner demon inside. And there's many different things in our life and our world that give that same scenario. You fight for something big, you get there, and then you look around and you're like, but this isn't it. And moving here, I think, was a really good move on many fronts, for sure. But I'm really impacted by the fact that what followed me here was this. I left a lot behind in Vancouver. I left a lot of stress. I left a lot of unhappiness behind. But what followed me was the demons in here. And I think that's what people are saying when they say, when I reached the mountaintop, when I became a millionaire, I still had the same demons. They followed me. And I'm kind of like unpacking that in myself, realizing that, I have such incredible drive that benefits a lot of people. It allowed me to build a successful business. It's allowed me to build a lot of things, renovate homes, do all this stuff. But it has a dark side, and I've already mentioned that in previous posts. It does have a dark side when you can't turn it off. In the same way, when I think about those climbers climbing Mount Everest, when all the odds were stacked against them and everything said, don't go any further, you're going to die, they continued to go because there was this inner demon that says you have to do what you said you were going to do. Otherwise, you'll never live with yourself. And it pushed them to, most of them died on that, and that was a true story. Reenactment of true events. And I'm realizing that at 50 years old, I still have these same old struggles. Like yesterday, I was hammering this job out, and today I literally felt hungover all day. And I think that's because of my age. I hate to say that. I'm also on some medication for my sleep. It's another whole story. I've dealt with 10 years of chronic insomnia, and I'm on this medication that makes me consistently thirsty, and sometimes I feel like waves of groggy tiredness in the daytime, and I wish I didn't have to be on it, but at the moment I just don't feel like I'm ready to come off of it. And I wonder whether, when I was in the heights of sleep insomnia, or the depths of sleep insomnia, I would have taken anything over that. So this is better than that. But, today I was really tired. My body was physically worn out. All the signs led to take it easy. You don't need to do anything. But I was fidgety and anxious and wound up inside, and trying to calm myself down, trying not to give over to it, but literally pacing around, doing something. I ended up driving a 5-hour round trip drive to pick up a wood chipper, which was semi-relaxing because I'm sitting in a car, so I'm not physically using my body. But I realized I'm really tired because I overdid it yesterday. I just had this goal. I was going to fill this bin. I was going to tear this down. I was going to open this up, and I didn't stop until that goal was complete. And the older you get, the less you can do that, because your body physically just says, I can't do this. And I guess what I'm really getting at is being honest with the fact that I'm struggling. I'm still struggling with that. Even though I'm in an environment where this could be a legacy project, there's no rush. I told myself when I first moved here, I was in this kind of like honeymoon phase. I was kind of a bit sleepy in my head, and I was like, there's no rush. But soon enough, sure enough, those old things crept in on me, and I'm realizing that I've still got a ways to go. I don't know if I'll ever arrive. Even my kids who left this weekend to go visit some friends in Victoria, and they say this every time they leave: don't work too hard, Dad. And it's like this running joke. But they see it, right? They see daddy pushing himself. And I'm better than I used to be, but I'm still fighting it. I'm still fighting this thing. And as I'm driving and realizing the fleetingness of life, and if I was told today, you know, like tomorrow morning, they said you got 24 hours to live, I would see it so blindingly obvious that all of this stuff we strive for cannot be taken with us. And it does matter in a way. You need a roof over your head, you need food in your tummy, you need to provide for your family and maybe provide a bit of a legacy for them, but not to the extent that sometimes I go to. On the grand scheme of things, getting this all done yesterday is crazy, but I keep putting these big benchmarks in front of myself. It's the same with those climbers, right? If you watch that movie, like the weather got so awful, they were like, all of the Sherpas were like, you gotta turn around, like this is a no-go, this is not a fit, it's not happening. And these guys were like, nope, I said I'm gonna do it, I've set my mind to it, we are doing it. And half of them died on the hill. And the ones that survived had this lost half their fingers and were changed for life, realized that this was an unhealthy thing that was going on in them. And I realized what's going on in me is unhealthy. There's a healthy side to wanting to do a project and getting something overcome and done. But if it takes you away from, if it winds you up like a spring, it's not healthy. And I realize I've realized this a lot, but I'm just like frustrated that I'm still fighting these old effing demons. And I'm better than I was. Like today I didn't work for instance, I went for a long drive to pick something up. So I was still productive. I could have just sat on the couch and watched a movie. Could have done that. Even driving back, I was like, I should go to the gym. I should go to the gym. My body's like, no, you're tired. Like I look on the mirror of my truck. I'm like, you're tired. I'm like, why do I want to go to a gym? To tick up box? You know, it's crazy. So anyway, I just thought I would get this down and be honest with what I'm at. I haven't arrived, and I want to arrive. I want to arrive at a place of peace, a bit more c'est la vie in my inner insides, and just let things take their natural course instead of forcing this vibrating energy. Get it done yesterday. Even this channel, I've given myself a big task. You know, if you've never put on a post like what I post, it takes hours of editing, hours of filming, just footage. And then you got to edit it all down to maybe 18, 20 minutes, hours. And I like doing it, but now I've created this thing where I'm going to do it every Saturday. I'm going to post a new thing. Every Saturday, I'm going to post a new video. And I've set myself up again, right, for another big challenge. I didn't really need a challenge moving here. I got a lot of challenges. I was trying to walk away from some of those challenges, but I've given myself another one. And it is creative. This is the same. I used to be a songwriter, and I'll put it in the description below. But if you want to go on Spotify and find our band, Whitfield, I wrote 2 albums, recorded it with friends, had a great time. We wanted to make a career of music. But I'm scared to write songs anymore because I remember how obsessive I got over trying to make that song perfect. And it actually was the tipping point of my insomnia, because this creativeness, which is beautiful, also has this really dark side. Like, why do you read, stories about like Amadeus and the guy who painted the Sistine Chapel? I can't remember his name. And Picasso. They were all tortured souls because they could not let go of the wrestle. They had to wrestle this sculpture, this painting down, and the creativeness has this dark side. And I haven't quite unpacked it all of how you live with this creative side, but live with it in a healthy way. It's very difficult, hard to explain unless you've experienced it. But it is very upset. And so now I used to write songs all the time. Now I pick up the guitar and play with my kids, but I play covering music because covering music costs me nothing emotionally. It's someone else's song. But to write a song, I can feel it scratching at my door. This like energy that can deplete me. It also feeds you a lot, but for someone like me who doesn't know when to say no, or doesn't know when to put it on the shelf and walk away, it's scary. And so I touch it very carefully. I tread carefully, and even doing this YouTube channel, I have to be careful because could potentially have a way of running away with me. And so, you know, sometimes I just need to be okay with a subpar video. You know, maybe it's not super exciting, and that is what it is, but it's hard. It's hard. Anyway, comment me. Get back to me with your comments if you have anything to say about or you can relate to the struggle. I know a lot of you might have already overcome all these battles that I'm in the middle of fighting. I haven't arrived, and I want to arrive. I want to arrive at a place of peace in my inner insides, and just let things take their natural course instead of forcing this vibrating energy. But yeah, your comments are very encouraging, and I'm open for open discussion. So anyway, thanks for listening.